the top of the tables taking on one another here in TEC Middle School Division 1. Bishop Guilfoyle and West Greene, both 2-0 through the first couple weeks of play, and both of them looking to solidify themselves out in front. I'm Time to Light. Still joining alongside me here for the entirety of the day is Potter, and Bishop Guilfoyle, well, they may have an advantage coming to the series. By no means are they the clear and obvious favorites.
Yeah, we discussed this a little bit in the green room before the game, just to say, you know, this is probably going to be a really good series. Hopefully the best of the day for viewing purposes and for casting purposes at that, as well as West Greene trying to transition this one, trying to get the first goal. As I keep saying in all the games I cast, first goal is always massive in any game of Rocket League. It's Tyler trying to get this one into the bottom left corner. It's transitioned off of the blue corner. It's coming down off the purple backboard, trying to get it into the center. It's Critics, no shot found. Surely it's got to be converted eventually. And xroadzy finds the opening goal for Bishop Guilfoyle.
Bishop Guilfoyle, again, are, yes, the favorites coming into the series, but this will probably be the most difficult, if not one of the most difficult series they will play. West Greene coming into today, like I said, are 2-0. They've gotten victories over both Black Valley and California Area Middle School. Bishop Guilfoyle, something similar. They have played Chartiers Houston and Black Valley. In the Black Valley series, by the way, they found the largest goal deficit in a singular game that they were on the advantageous side of, winning Game 3 of that 3-0 series 21-1 just 2 weeks ago. It was dominant, to say the very least, there, Potter.
Absolutely. Like you say, 21-1. They know that they can score goals, and on the other side, West Greene will know that Bishop Guilfoyle can score goals, and they're going to have to step up to the plate and give a really solid performance should they want to try and get anything out of the series. And they'll be coming in with their eyes set on nothing but a win. As Critics trying to get the shot into the bottom left corner, it's bounced into the center. It's really awkward for the West Greene defense to deal with, and Bishop Guilfoyle get a 2-0 advantage.
Citrix sends that one across, and really clean and important for Bishop Guilfoyle to solidify themselves as a team-based, well, team, I suppose. It's a good shot. It's a really good pass. Good setup from the start. They knew what they were planning. Good communication to kick it away, and yeah, you could see the conversion was there. Now into the corner. xroadzy looking for a pass of their own. That'll be a good centering ball. Looking for the bump, however, they won't be able to find it. Centering pass across again. Not there, and xroadzy runs out of boost, but will just barely miss that ball.
Pioneer 3 transitioning off to Pioneer 2, trying to get it down the right hand flank. Critics just delaying time, picks up the boost, plays the ball really well, picks up the mid left boost as well, aiming it towards the backboard, looking for the double tap, can't find it into the center. Nobody home to clear that ball into the back of the net as xroadzy picks up the pieces, trying to get it down into the center. The pressure looking really prominent for Bishop Guilfoyle. Two players go for West Greene, none of them make contact. Defense really awkward, surely got to be capitalized upon. You think that's an opportunity which should go into the bottom left-hand corner, but the angle eventually too tight for Bishop to capitalize on it.
That one not so much, though. xroadzy will make it a hat-trick. Again, a good pass from Citrix. This one going off the side wall and then pinched, I think. Yeah, pinched off the back wall. What a play from Citrix. And, you know, good follow-up from xroadzy. When the stylistic part of your goal is the assist, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely that. And you know that you've got the mechanical prowess to convert these chances, to get the passes in, as this one could potentially be a fourth. The pressure again, right back where we left off, the purple side, trying to just get as many goals in. We said before they've got the highest goal advantage in a single game, 21-1, and they're not stopping here even against the toughest of competition.
No, they're not. xroadzy trying to make it a 4. They will. 4 for themselves, 4 for the team, and a 4-0 lead just as we curse that halfway point of the game. Just past the 2-minute 30 seconds mark, and this one maybe shades of Black Valley.
Seems to be. It does seem to be that way, and it's a very good start for them. They just want to build upon it. They're not going to stop. They don't know how to stop. xroadzy adds a 5th.
xroadzy's also the only one to score. Now, usually I'd say, oh my gosh, why is only one player scoring? But the fact of the matter is, in all of these goals, except for I believe one, they have been assisted. No, every single one of these goals has been assisted. Citrix just got their Playmaker achievement for 3 assists. xroadzy has scored 5 goals, and Tyler has assisted the other 2 that Citrix did not. And xroadzy has 8 shots on goal, which is a statistical improbability through just a few minutes of play, and almost found a 9th. Nice pass again from Citrix, but that one will not go home. We're not seeing all that many mistakes from West Greene. It's really just a lot of offensive pressure for Bishop Guilfoyle. And combine that alongside the fact that they're getting so many passing plays, it doesn't seem like West Greene know who to look at. There's not a whole lot you can do to deny this, except for just jump and hope it works. That one does not. xroadzy finds his second hat-trick in a singular game.
The flip reset pass was attempted, wasn't converted though. xroadzy picked up the pieces, put it into the top left corner. No shot for West Greene yet, and they need to find 7 should they want to win the game.
Pioneer 1 elevates it, sends it forward. Pioneer 3 trying to follow up, but will not have an immediate opportunity. Pioneer 1 again, cornering it, but not doing a whole lot with it. That's the issue here for West Greene. They're making contact. They are having some level of control, but they're not doing a whole lot with their control. Flip reset into a musty attempted. That one doesn't work. The ground pinch doesn't either. Citrix is just going stylistic on him. And surprisingly, I'll say it again, has not scored a goal, because apparently they could just set up their teammates to do it.
Yep, and that it shows the cohesion that they've got, and they really can pull anything out of the bag. Somebody will pick up the pieces and convert an opportunity from it, as Critics takes this one over to the left-hand sandwall, gets it off the corner as well, looking for somebody infield. Critics, one more touch into the centre. xroadzy's there, again, just to keep their ball close. All they do, they play so, like, the chemistry is just there. It's so natural for them. So many passes just coming through, keeping the ball, delaying time. They're 6-0 up. They don't need to worry about scoring any more goals. Of course, they're going to, and they're going to try and score as many as possible. But the game is practically won. All they need to do is wait for the ball to hit the ground at 0 seconds.
You know, I'm a big proponent of as soon as you go up 6, maybe 5 goals, you don't need to score anymore unless you're going for stylistic ones like this. Citrix going for maybe a pinch off the back wall, good centering pass, but nobody's there. The main reason, there's 2. Number 1, they take an extra 17 seconds. So in a game that ends 3-0, it actually took 6 minutes instead of 5. And it's kind of like BM. It's one of those things, like in a football game, you're not supposed to go up by 90 points. The only reason that college teams do it is because of football rankings, and you kind of need to go up 70 or 80 points to say, oh yeah, we did what we should have against that team. I hate it, but I'll reserve most of my opinion. Citrix will find the only goal that was not scored by xroadzy in this series, and surprisingly enough, yeah, you guessed it, xroadzy assisted it. So every single goal for Bishop Guilfoyle is assisted.
Yep, and to like kind of go back onto our last series, we had, I can't remember the player's name. You know, the guy for Blackleg who was literally doing everything. Pickle chips, that's the one. We've got that here for xroadzy as well, where they're doing literally everything on the ball, but it's so much more of a team performance. I can't get the words out of my mouth time to like Bishop Guilfoyle's performance is just blowing me away.
0-second goal for their 8th, and this one much more team-based rather than just individual prowess. Everybody stepping up to do something. We saw 2 assists from Tyler and assists from xroadzy. I believe that was assist number 5 from Citrix? Yeah, it was. And they will even find a goal of their own. xroadzy Braziled their scoreline. 1,000 points, 7 goals and an assist on 10 shots. The remaining 2 players, actually, the remaining 5 players in the lobby had a combined 7 shots. It's basically just his 2 teammates.
Extremely dominant performance, and they're not going to let up here. We said it at the start of the game. West Greene, they knew that they would be in for a tough battle. They know exactly who Bishop Guilfoyle are, and they would be coming up against a very, very tough opponent, but they've still got chance to step up to the plate. It is 8 goals in game 1. However, it's still only the 1 game series point. For if they were to have lost 1-0, 2-1, and had a really close overtime game, it still would have been the same result. They need to bounce back strong here and get themselves on the board.
I'm also wondering why both of these teams have such high ping, because unless Bishop Guilfoyle is playing on like some satellite network, they shouldn't have as high a ping as they do, because they're in Pennsylvania, and servers are like 150 miles south of them. It should be like 20, not 45. That's another conversation. Just curious, I suppose. Stream of consciousness, as I like to say. Pioneer 3, inopportune touch. Will elevate it and keep it away from the goal for the time being. Tyler wants a shot, will not be able to put that one home. Citrix, however, backflip right in the middle of the field. There's the follow-up from xroadzy. Good recovery from Citrix, and good situational awareness from xroadzy to turn around right about now as they flip their attention back to the goal and will send the opening goal home once more.
They do exactly that. They open their accounts here in game number 2, 5 minutes back on the clock. However, only took 20 seconds for them to regain their lead. That's an open net. That one's off the post. Critics puts it into the center once more. Shot top left from xroadzy. 1 turns into 2.
Oh my goodness, and Bishop Guilfoyle not wasting any time getting ahead. Citrix a pseudo assist. Pioneer 1 it helped a little bit, but it's still Rhodesy with the goal. Of the, what does that make it now? 10 goals scored by Bishop Guilfoyle. Rhodesy's responsible for 9 of them, and every single one has still been assisted.
It's a lot of goals, and it's a very dominant performance, but I still believe here in the blue side to try and do something, at least get themselves on the board here. But Critics with the flip reset, it is Rosy to try and force it through. Tyler misses the ball, but again, they don't necessarily need to convert chances, but they're going to anyway. Critics makes it through.
Citrix, I love this. You get the ball out of harm's way. All 3 West Green players go just sailing by it, and Citrix will indeed send that one home. 3-0 in 50 seconds for Bishop Guilfoyle. They keep this up. My math serves me correctly. They'll finish with what, 17, 18 maybe?
Probably, but I suppose they'll finish with however many they end up with. At the moment, it's a game of Rocket League. We've not got a clue. Anything can happen in a 5-minute game of Rocket League. Heck, this game could still be overturned, and I'm not going to sit here now and say that I believe it, but I know that there's potential there because we've seen crazier things happen. But when Rhodesy is back on a hat-trick once more, a minute 10 seconds into the game, it's not looking good for West Green.
No, it's not the most ideal scenario for them. And Bishop Guilfoyle, they are in the lead for an obvious reason. We've seen a couple goals finally not be assisted, 2 solo goals by Citrix and Rhodesy respectively, but it's really just the game here for Bishop Guilfoyle of how quickly, or slowly, I suppose, on a technicality, they can close this one out. Another 30 seconds or so go by, and 2 more goals scored. Citrix is responsible for that one. Nice little shot up and over both players. Pioneer 1 was already up for it, but they just barely got beaten. That was the difference maker.
If you are West Green, Tantalite, what do you do? What do you say? How do you try and come back in this game, in this series as well?
I'm going to be real with you. I'd say GG go next. If I was to try and bring this series back, it would really just be about learning things. That's what you can only do in series like this. I've seen 1 or 2 series where there's a dominant singular game and then it's brought back. Maybe it's a statistical outlier, maybe not so much. Nice follow-up by Tyler, by the way. But in this series, it seems like one team is mechanically skilled significantly more than the other. And sometimes that is just the plain fact. If you queued into a ranked game as a GC player and you queued against golds, you're going to absolutely annihilate them. It's going to happen, and it's understandable. But here, for West Green, they say you either win or you learn. I'd like to see what they can learn from this, see if they can improve something about their defensive side, or if it really just is some mechanical skill from Citrix that's putting Bishop Guilfoyle convincingly on top.
Yeah, I'd agree with you as well. I'd say it's the little things. You concede 8 goals in game 1, try and concede less. You scored 0 goals in game 1, try and score at least 1 and get yourselves on the board and try and show what you really can do and what potential is there for West Green. But they haven't been allowed out of their own zone. Citrix potentially trying to add a 7th, passes it off to Rhodesy on the right-hand side wall, full boost to their name, looking for the reset, goes under instead, trying to just get it past Pioneer 3, delaying time at that as well, putting them in all positions, looking for more boost. Citrix just bumps their teammates off it, wants the ball all to themselves, flicks it over to Pioneer 1, potentially getting demoed on the back line, but evades all demo opportunities and attempts as Tyler clears this one away. The defense for Bishop Guilfoyle hasn't been tested. They didn't have a single shot in game 1, did West Green. They haven't had one here in game 2 either.
Citrix looking for a flip reset off the ceiling. Will find it. Will not be able to use their flip, though, because they ran out of time. It doesn't matter, though. They will still get the turtle goal accolade just by falling to the floor. A quick fun fact, if you use your first flip, you have 1.5 seconds, that's all, to use your second, or it will expire. But if you fall off the ceiling naturally, you technically have your flip indefinitely until either you flip the first time, which is technically your only flip, or if you end up being demoed or something else. Similar situation there, but not going to matter. Pioneer 3, nice defense in the backline, keeps it away. We've seen good showings from West Green. Not saying that they are a terrible team by any means, but they are playing up against probably GC/SSL level players. Citrix is outperforming me, and I'm a low GC player. So I can't do half the things I've seen him do today.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you get a player like Citrix on your team, and like we saw in the last series as well, these standout players can really enable a team, get the other teammates involved, really get them on the board and show what they've got to do as well. Citrix has been getting Rhodesy involved, Tyler's been cleaning up players as well. It's a proper team performance And like I mentioned earlier, the chemistry is just there for this team. Finally, a shot goes on for West Greene, but easily saved away by the purple defense.
Okay, I've been doing some due diligence. It seems like Citrix is actually just the same rank as I am. So maybe they're more mechanically skilled than I am. I don't know. But hey, it's a curious point. They're mid-champ as of right now. I haven't played, at least not all that much comp in a while. I play casual with friends more often than I used to. But Citrix is still mechanically gifted. Maybe not having the situational awareness in closer ranked games than they would otherwise. I'm going to look at the rest of their team in just a few seconds, but I'm curious, to say the very least.
And you've got every right to be when performances like this are coming through and the mechanical skills you really want to see. How close you are in comparison to these players on the field, but more importantly, West Greene as well, getting themselves that little bit closer. But in that respect, we've also entered Brazil.
We have indeed. And as much as the World Cup was fun here last time, it's not looking great for West Greene. They have scored, though. And that's the most important part about this. I've done some other due diligence. Rhodesy is mid-diamond-ish, and Tyler, I think I found the wrong account, because it says they're gold, but I don't think that's true. They've looked much better than a gold. It could be true, and they just are the statistical outlier on their team. I'm not sure, but there's your hesitant rankings. Mid-champ, high diamond, and gold. Probably not, though, for the 3 players of Bishop Guilfoyle. You can see why they're such a commanding part of this TEC middle school series. You know, I gotta say, I was about champ 2 in middle school. I should have played Rocket League in middle school, at least, like, competitively for my school. I wish this was a thing.
Well, if we go back to what we were saying probably about 3 minutes ago, West Greene have definitely made an improvement. They've conceded less goals, they've scored more goals. However, I think Bishop Guilfoyle definitely let off the gas a little bit. But if you look at it from a statistical point of view, West Greene were able to keep Bishop Guilfoyle out for, I believe, like a solid 2 minutes from when they last conceded that 7th.
Yeah, and importantly enough, it was also Bishop Guilfoyle trying to go for, I think, more stylistic plays and still trying to play around one another. And they were also spreading the love, as I'm going to put in quotation marks. It wasn't as contentious as I think it was for Bishop Guilfoyle in Game 1. They understood that it was a completely different series moving into Game number 2. And West Greene did make some improvements, hilarity or not, for Bishop Guilfoyle. Does that change into Game number 3? Sweep is on the cards for this Marauders squad. But will they find it? That's the real question.
5 minutes back on the clock. Anything can happen in a game of Rocket League, and anything can happen, especially in a series of Rocket League. That's why we play best of 5, so reverse sweeps can potentially happen, and what a result it would be. But Citrix doesn't want that to be the case. Puts Bishop Guilfoyle up by 1 already.
Nice little tap from Citrix as well. Finds the redirection shot they needed, and Pioneer 3 was ready for the original ball. They couldn't reorient their car for the second touch that was there. Bishop Guilfoyle in 7 seconds. Kick off well, exactly what they were looking for. And there's that real commanding start that we were coming to expect from them. Difficult ball in midfield. Oh no, an overcommitment by West Greene without knowing exactly where that ball was going. And that's a shot either on goal or right next to it. It'll end up hitting the post. The follow-up from Rosie hits the crossbar. Tyler will go just wide, but Citrix now wants to close it. Double tap opportunity. You better believe they'll close that one out. Just under 30 seconds into Game 3, and Bishop Guilfoyle will show you why we're just shy of sweep.
And what a start it is. And you look at it from this point of view of the last game as well, and the series as a whole. West Greene have only scored the 1 goal the entire series, and have to score 3 should they want to win this game. You can practically call it over. Citrix onto the backboard. West Greene on Tyler's shot is going to be skewed wide of the post. Rose to pick up the pieces, gets it past 1. Citrix coming through, trying to close down the space. Allows 1 touch from Pioneer 3. Pioneer 2 comes past the ball here. Rhodesy into the centre. Citrix popping this one up once more. Aim towards the backboard. Look at the double touch once more. Gets into the centre. Tyler puts it top shelf. It's team players coming out from Bishop once more. And just a brilliant, dominant performance all round.
But Tyler just has it fall right in front of their car. That's the best kind of goal when you have to do very little. And I gotta say, Bishop Guilfoyle looking really good in this one as well. And there's obviously understandable scenarios for West Greene. When you're playing up against a player who's as uniquely mechanically gifted as Citrix is, even when they just casually put a ball off the back wall, you have to worry, are they going to go for a double tap? Are they going to find that follow-up opportunity? And sometimes the case is no, it's just a pass, but it's still something you have to keep in the back of your mind. And you can't play immediate defense on everybody else who's focused in the middle of the net. You have to still have your ball cam on, you have to watch where that player is, and maybe tunnel vision is coming back to bite West Greene. We've seen a 3-0 lead already here. Now trying to make it 4. No one's home. xroadzy will put it off the side wall. Follow-up is there. Is anybody home? Yes. Nice save from Pioneer 1.
xroadzy though, popping this one up. 45 boosts to work with. Looking for flip reset. It's going to be scrambled potentially into the back of the net. No hard touch found to convert it over the line. Find that 4th goal. 3 minutes left in this one. xroadzy's up once more. Looking to pinch it over to the left-hand side of the field. Tyler's there for it. Going up for a play of their own, but no boost to work with. It's going to drop awkwardly into the center of the goal, but Pioneer 3 does well and deals with the pressure off the backboard.
Now finally forced all the way back towards the Bishop Guilfoyle side of the pitch. Will be collected once more. Flip reset attempted, but this is dangerous for Bishop Guilfoyle. The more you try and play with the ball in your own net, the more likely you are to give up an unintentional goal. Citrix and xroadzy trying to just fool around over towards that attacking side, but no, it won't turn into anything fruitful. And Tyler allows it to go just right by their car, understanding they needed to slow down. Problem is, they give some control to West Greene.
Indeed they do, but Citrix should be able to beat out the offenders, do so successfully. Pioneer 1 posed ready on the goal line to deal with that shot. Pioneer 2 just bangs this one away. I believe that is a big issue, I think, for West Greene, and an improvement point we can say is they don't keep the ball close enough. They just keep banging the ball back to Bishop. They've got the mechanical qualities to keep it in the air and make sure they can keep it away from West Greene, but we saw some more chances coming through from Bishop, which just came unconverted, bounced off of the post. No 4th goal found. 2 minutes left in the game.
And 2 minutes left. Bishop Guilfoyle significantly hindered. We've seen them still go for some obvious shot opportunities, but they haven't been able to finish more often than not. xroadzy wants a shot here, cannot get it around Pioneer 1 though. A Savior medal and the accolade handed over towards the first of the 3 pioneering Musketeers, but it's Citrix to send that second attempt home. Their hat-trick now being on the board. Their second in this series. We've seen xroadzy with 3 individual hat-tricks, including 1 last game. And that, I think, is probably what will close out the series. It's just a matter of how definitive this final game ends. Maybe not. Wait a second.
Hang on. Hold your horses. We've got 1:46 left in this game. Yes, it is still an absolute long shot, but it's a kickoff goal, and 3 more of those will have us at a tie game.
No, I wonder what the odds of a kickoff goal going your way immediately off the first or second touch are, and then what the odds of all 4 of the kickoff goals going your way. Because, I mean, some stats professor has to have that one on hand, right? What the odds of coming back time after time is, with limited time remaining. I say from Citrix, sends it over to xroadzy. xroadzy forward, Citrix second attempt, wanting to send this one home, will do so close post. You could see the hesitancy on the back line. I believe that was Pioneer 1 who was waiting for the follow-up touch, and understandably so. They were thinking Citrix was going to go back post. So was I. Citrix just goes front post, slots it in, makes it a 4-goal deficit once more.
Yep. 1:30 left, and I believe there's not too much analysis we can do. We know exactly which direction the series is heading. We know exactly what the end scoreline, end result is going to be. It seems like it's all destined to be a sweep for Bishop.
Oh, Citrix almost lost that one in top shelf as well. It seems like this one, just a formality, the final 70 seconds or so to close this one out. I would still like to see a couple things improve for West Greene. Some notable stats coming into this: they are playing up against what is widely recognized as the best team in middle school Division 1. This is just a better team than most others and will continue to be for a little while. No beating around the bush on that one. You're playing probably the worst and most difficult opponent you will have to play all season, so losing in this fashion is not the worst case scenario. And maybe you can improve down the line towards finals. But the other thing that I really want to focus on for them is how good their defense was. Even with really good and really mechanical players, they had really decent saves on the back line. The only problem was they could not turn into offensive pressure, and they couldn't shut that guy down often enough. Citrix will make it, I believe, 4 for themselves, if not a 5th. Make it 5, actually. And Bishop Guilfoyle will expand the lead to 5 and put a nice little cap on the series.
Yes, exactly that. And when you've played against Citrix now for practically 3 games. Every single time they take it into the air, someone's got to be able to challenge them and get them off that ball. Whether it's a touch on the ball, touch on Citrix's card, just got to make them look. But they're here again. They're looking for the sidewall read. Rhodes trying to find the 7th goal, trying to take us back to South America, but it seems like it's all but over. If we look at it from a statistical point of view once more, West Greene have improved, but how much have Bishop Guilfoyle kind of just said, you know what, this series is done, let's score a couple goals and just get on with our day?
Citrix will make it a Brazil once more. They will put a nice little bow on this very nice gift of a series. Citrix actually bumped Rhodesy away from it so he could pick up his 2nd hat-trick of the game. Let's see. Citrix finds a hat-trick back in our previous game. So did Rhodesy. I believe, if I've done my math correctly, each of them found 3 hat-tricks in 3 games. And it was Rhodesy with 2 of them in game 1, Citrix with 2 of them in game 3. It's kind of nuts, actually.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to confirm your statistic, but I would say that it's probably true, and fair play to them to be able to pull it off consistently. All the goals were there. Somebody was bound to get a hat-trick in the series, and multiple hat-tricks at that, and that's exactly what we've seen. I'm going to say it once more, and a final time from me. Dominant professional performance from Bishop Guilfoyle.
Let's see. I believe I'm correct. I checking game number 1, Rhodesy finished with 6 goals, or 7 goals. So it was 2 hat-tricks for them. At the end of game number 2, it was ... as I'm totally not skipping through the VOD on my other screen. You don't know what I'm doing. Just pretend I'm not. Yeah, Rhodesy and Citrix both found a hat-trick in game number 2, and then Citrix found 2 hat-tricks in game number 3. So Tyler found 1 goal in game 2 and game 3, and Rhodesy and Citrix found 3 hat-tricks in 3 games. So a wild series, to say the very least, I think, on this one, Potter. And a closeout that Bishop Guilfoyle, I'm not going to say we're fully expecting, because they may not have known how good West Greene were coming into this. They were both 2-0, but it's one they're more than happy with. They will solidify themselves at the top of the tables here in the middle school Division 1. We'll return with another Division 2 matchup here in middle school. I believe our final series of the day. We'll see you when we come back with that match.